waiting in the reeds to choke on the pieces you're dealing, but I'm healing like a demon. But it takes one to know one, he says, and though you're cold, you always already begun. They're out there fighting for you, long gone. You always already begun, and I'm the villain. Closes it away. The rage I'm like it's easy. Nothing could ever comes out, though you're cold. You always already begun. The shots are fired and you're cold. You always already begun, and I'm the villain now. Tell me this year's right. Tell me time's on my side and give me skies of greater chances lost for me today. Don't tell me life is a crime. I'm done being sad all the time. Please tell me that I am wrong. Please tell me that I am wrong once in a while.
Hallo und einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Ich sehe schon, da ist noch... Ich muss gleich noch WhatsApp beantworten. Hintergrundentfernung. Go! Brave Kamera. So, Hintergrund entfernt, WhatsApp beantwortet. Einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet alle einen schönen Tag, einen guten Dienstag. Der Start der Woche ist vorbei, die Mitte noch nicht gekommen und das Ende noch lange nicht erreicht, aber hilft ja nichts. So, Pathfinder wollen wir weitermachen. Ich will es zumindest. Muss reichen. Was mir gerade vorher aufgefallen ist, was ich lustig finde, Display Mode, ich spiele natürlich in Fullscreen Borderless Windows, was für mich keine Nachteile hat. Ich liebe Fullscreen Borderless Windows, ist einfach der beste View Mode für all Games. Es ist bedauerlich, dass es nicht alle unterstützen, aber es ist der beste Mode. Nur interessant, dass sie tatsächlich schreiben Exclusive Fullscreen Mode. In this mode the rendering speed becomes maximum, but be careful, the mode is unstable, especially it does not work well with two monitors. Das vom normalen Fullscreen abgeraten wird, ist schon weird. Das wäre mir noch nie aufgefallen bei irgendeinem Game. Aber, wie auch immer, let's go. Wir wollen in das Game. Noch einen gute Nacht Kaffee. Also gestern aus dem Dungeon rausgekämpft, vom Dämonen verprügelt worden, Dämonin, und dann da in dieser hübschen Taverne aufgeweckt worden, und da sind wir jetzt. Ich habe einen tollen Hut gefunden, direkt aufgesetzt. Ich habe ein Level-Up gehabt und dann direkt, wo ich aufgehört habe, irgendwie festgestellt, ich muss ja scheinbar Spells memorisieren. What a fail! Und dann kann ich dann noch meine Party-Members scheinbar auch Level-Upen. Das kann ich mir dann auch gleich noch anschauen. Aber oh mein Gott. Jetzt habe ich da halt noch viel mehr Spells von verschiedenen Leveln. Ah, okay. Nein, gut. Das ist easy. Die sind kein Problem. Level 1 habe ich schon welche memorized, kann aber jetzt noch einen mehr memorisen. Okay, es war kein kompletter Fuck-up. Ich hab gedacht, ich bin schon die ganze Zeit gegimmt wie sonst was rumgelaufen. Aber zumindest waren Spells memorized. So. Dann schauen wir uns das jetzt einmal an. Cost 4 finde ich cool, bleibt drin. Das ist einfach ein netter Debuff für die Gegner. Dann haben wir da Bless Fierce your allies with courage. Each ally gains a +1 moral bonus on attack rolls and saving throws against fear effects. Bless counters and dispels Bane. Das kann man sie einmal rauswerfen, oder? Oder nicht? Kann man jetzt einfach... Okay. Einfach austauschen. Passt. Shield of Faith. Shimmering Magic Field around target. Averts and deflects attack. +2 deflection bonus to AC with an additional +1 bonus for every 6 levels you have, maximum 5 at 18th. Okay, was haben wir da alternativ? Bane. Bane fills your enemies with fear and doubt. Each affected creature takes a -1 penalty on attack rolls and a -1 penalty on saving throws against fear effects. Bane counters and dispels Bless. Target. All enemies within a 30-foot burst centered on caster. Das macht's interessant. Weil zum Beispiel Cost 4 ist one enemy creature within close range. -1. Shaken for 1 round. Das haben wir kurz. Keine Ahnung. Okay, weil das ist ein Domain-Slot. Kann ich theoretisch da unten auch ein Domain rein tun? Scheinbar ja. Okay. Gut. Bane ist interessant. Maybe. Command. And give the subject a single command which it obeys to the best of its ability at its earliest opportunity. You may select from the following options. Approach. On its turn, subject moves toward you as quickly and directly as possible for 1 round. Creature may do nothing but move during its turn and it projects attack of opportunity for its movement as normal. Fall, falls to the ground. Flee, moves away. Hold, stands in place. Naja. Cure Light Wounds. Sicher, also eigentlich nicht uninteressant. Aber ich habe halt momentan auch echt voll Healbots dabei. Und sie kann auch heilen und sie als Pala hat Hand auflegen. Und die haben meinen großen AE-Heal. Also, weiß ich nicht. Calling upon the strength and wisdom of deity, you gain +1 luck bonus on attack and weapon damage, rolls for 3 caster levels. You gain. Nö, ich bin Caster. Doom. This spell fills a single subject with feeling of horrible dread that causes it to become shaken. War 4 nicht. Wenn es den Will Save, dann ist Shaken. Also, frightened außer Will Save, dann Shaken. Das heißt, Doom ist eigentlich nur schlechter. Medium Range, okay, ist mehr Range. Fire Belly. A magical fire warms your belly, granting you fire resistance 5, making your gut hot to the touch. As a standard action, you can breathe a 15-foot cone of flame that deals 1d4 points of fire damage. Each time you use this breath weapon, the remaining duration of the spell is reduced by 1 minute. Nach Feueratem klingt jetzt nicht so schlecht. You fill an enemy's head with waking dreams and render of the pleasures, delights and terrors to be found in a dream world. While in the strange dreams that the target moves at half its normal speed, multiple haze of dream effects do not stack, nor does the spell effect stack with slow. Nö. Inflict light wounds, das ist halt Touch Range, das finde ich nicht so cool. When laying your hand upon a creature, you channel negative energy that deals 1d8 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level. Since under the part per negative, this spell cures such a creature of a like amount damage rather than harming it. Ich meine, der Damage klingt nice. Dass es halt Touch Range ist, weiß ich nicht so recht. Aber sagen wir mal, maybe. Magic Weapon gives a weapon +1 enchance bonus attack damage rolls. Weiß ich nicht. +2 deflection, AC, resistance, and both these apply against the meta effects by creatures with corresponding alignment. I don't know. Ray of Sickening is close range, that is immediately sickened for a spell duration. A successful fortitude save negates the effect. Aber was heißt sickened? Schauen wir mal weiter. Remove Fear. You instill courage in a subject, granting it +4 morale bonus against fear effects. Remove Sickness. Okay, Shield of Faith is this. Stunning Barrier. You're closely surrounded by a barely visible magical field. The field provides 1+ deflection bonus to AC and resistance on save. Any creature that strikes you with melee attack is stunned for 1 round. Will negates. Once the field has stunned an opponent, the spell is discharged. 1 round per level or until discharged. Summon Monster 1. This spell summons an extra planar dog. It appears where you designate the action to its initiative check results. It attacks your opponents to the best of its ability. Unbreakable Heart gains +1 on saving throw against mind-affecting effects that rely on negative emotions, such as crying with fear, rage, or fear effects, would force them to harm an ally. If the spell is already under such effect, when seeing the effect is suppressed. Wobei Bane schon irgendwie cool ist. Was hat das Shield of Faith? Shimmering magic field around the target, averts and Plus 2 deflection bonus to a save with an additional plus 1 bonus for every 6 levers you have. Das brauche ich dabei nicht. Nimm noch den Ray of Sickening, aber wenn ich jetzt nicht wirklich weiß, was Sickening macht. Dann gehen wir mal daher und dann auf Level 2. Da haben wir jetzt überhaupt noch nichts drin und noch mehr Spells. Oh Gott. Okay, da ist jetzt ein Summon Monster 2 dann. Okay, 8. 8 grants the target plus on small opponents and attack rolls and saving against 4 effects plus temporary hit points equal to 1d8 caster level. Naja. Makes your currently equipped weapon chaotic evil good lawful. Nö. Arrow of Law. Fire a shimmering arrow of pure order from your holy symbol at one target in range as ranged touch attack. A chaotic creature stuck when Arrow of Law takes 1d8 points of damage per 2 caster levels, maximum 5d8. A chaotic outside instead takes 1d6. The success will reduce damage to half and negates the daze effect. This spell deals only half damage to creatures that are... that are neither chaotic nor lawful and they are not dazed. The arrow has no effect on lawful creatures. Es ist halt echt schwer einzuschätzen, wie viel lawful creatures man trifft. Gains greater vitality, stamina, grants subject plus 4 enhancement bonus to constitution, which adds usual benefits to hit points, fortitude saves, and so forth. With this prayer, you provide long-lasting succor to a wounded creature. For as long as the effect lasts, the target receives plus 2 more opponents and saving throw against fear and death effects. At any time where the spell is in effect, the target can choose to enter spell as a swift action for a burst of healing energy. Target loses the saving throw but is healed of 1d8 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level. Das klingt cool. Zuerst ein Buff und dann ein On-Use Heal. Das ist nice. A fair blessing of halfling clerics, this spell grants plus 2 more opponents and saving throw against fear effects. If the target fails the saving throw against fear, it rerolls the save plus 4 more opponents and takes the new result even if it's worse. After that, the spell effects end. Plus 4 enhancement bonus to strength. Cure moderate wounds ist natürlich auch cool. Das wäre schon interessant. Delay Poison. Becomes immune to poison. Sie geht jetzt dabei nicht die Notwendigkeit. Transmuted creature becomes more poised, articulate and personally forceful. The spell grants a plus for enhancement charisma, adding the additional benefits to skill checks. Armor, you wear no longer use speed, you also use armor check penalty. Naja gut, das ist... Dann bist halt während's Cast besser, aber sonst... Armor ist die meiste Zeit dann immer noch Crap eigentlich. You get intuitive insight into the working of traps, you get insight bonus für Traps, haben wir sie mit. Grace. Until the end of round, your movement does not provoke attacks of... Egal. Paralyzed and freezes in place. A weapon proves normal but cannot take any actions, even speech. Each round the subject may attempt a new saving throw to end the effect. So, Inflict Moderate Wounds ist immer noch Touch Range, 2d8 Points of Damage plus 1 per Caster Level. Und was wäre Bone Shaker? You take control of target living creature skeleton. A creature is in skeleton rattle within its flesh. Oh, das klingt unangenehm. Causing grievous harm. The target takes 3d6 points of damage plus 1d6 additional points of damage per 2 Caster Levels. Oh, das klingt unangenehm. Und hat Medium Range. Ausgewählt. Das klingt so cool unangenehm, Alter. Restoration Lesser. Dispels anti-magical effects using one subject ability scores or Qs. It also limits any fatigue suffered by a character. It does not restore permanent ability drains. Soundburst. You blast an arrow of tremendous cacophony. Every creature in the area takes 1d points of sonic damage and must succeed a fortitude save to avoid being stunned for 1 round. Summon Monster 2 summons an extra planar wolf or 1d3 extra planar dogs. The summoned monsters appear where designate. Eclore summons small elemental. Summons to aid a small fire, water, air or earth elemental. Summon appears where designate Eclore. Ein Summon mag ich nicht wirklich drin haben und ich fühle mich nichtsdestotrotz irgendwo als Heiler. Also tu jetzt einmal Cure Moderate Wounds seine. So. Dann können wir da bei ihm direkt das Level up machen. Deflect arrows. You must have at least one hand free holding nothing to use this feat. Once per round when you would normally be hit with an attack from a ranged weapon, you may deflect it so that you take no damage from it. You must be aware of the attack and not flat-footed. Attempting to deflect a ranged attack does not count as an action. Ah, da steht ein Tipp für mich. Character Serta is going to prepare the healing spell Inflict Light Wounds, even though they already can cast it spontaneously by losing any other prepared spell. Some classes, such as cleric and druids, have the ability to do spontaneous spell casting. For example, a good cleric has no need to prepare healing spells. They can lose almost any spell they have prepared except their domain spells to cast a cure wound spell of the same level. In the same way, an evil cleric can lose prepared spells to cast inflict wounds. Your character Sarah can lose any prepared spell to cast the spell inflict light wounds instead of it. Ah, dann werden wir dort noch einmal zurückschauen. Ja. Man muss natürlich anpassen. So, bei ihm, Deflect Arrows, kommt mir halt irgendwie komisch vor. Ich sehe jetzt nicht wirklich, dass das Sinn macht, weil er hat ja nie eine Hand frei. Er haltet am Bogen, oder? Der ist two-handed. Aber ich mag. Das Problem ist, wenn ich es ändere, dann muss ich ab dann leveln. Ist mir egal, ich sehe Deflect Arrows nicht. I don't care. Ich gehe auf Deadly Aim. Yes, accepted. Longbow, das passt. So, Spellbook. Was war das Inflict Light Wounds? Den da. Den soll ich nicht nehmen, sagt das Game. Dann nehmen wir stattdessen Fire Belly. So, Spirit Hunter, Shaman. Du kriegst Dodge, you gain +1 Dodge points to AC, a condition that makes you lose a Dex points to AC and makes you lose the benefit of this feat. Passed. Complete. Armor Focus, Heavy Armor Focus, passt. Mercy Sickened. Whenever the player uses lay on hands to deal damage to one target, the target is no longer sickened. Warum nicht? Can't cast Spells. Okay, so, da ist das gleiche Thema. All creatures 15 feet cone. Nehmen wir einmal rein. Summon Nature's Ally, Natural Giant Frog. Ach. Sickening and Tangle, except plants are coated with various sectors, creature painful, itching, wrecked. Creatures that touch them. Any creature that enters the area must succeed at 40 save or be sickened as long as it remains in the area for 1d4 rounds. This is a poison effect. Spirit magic slots. Is this a spirit magic? Where's Scarpus? Scheinbar, ja. Dann kommt da die Pulse Strength eine. Das klingt cool. Force Life. You harness the power of unlife to grant yourself a limited ability to avoid death. Ach was. Nein. Barkskin. Toughens creatures skin. Grants +2 enhancement of creatures existing natural armor bonus. Increases 1 for every caster levels. Nehmen wir. So, und sie hat auch keine Spells. Gut. Dann bin ich, glaube ich, mit dem Spellbook fertig. Vermutlich. Anevia, hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Anevia is outside your door, leaning casual against the shelf. So, here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that. And I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here, they could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and they were going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know after they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Okay. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damned beetle left with its scythe? Yeah, well, it cut a city in two. And it's kinda difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's halfway decent place to set up crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried to make it, sure. But if you got mad to go across, and I think you're gonna have to eventually, you might wanna give the square once over. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You? What? No! The task is far too important. You can't just hold up here cozy like waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? Thanks for the warning. See you later. Later, and watch yourself out there. Okay, ich brauche auf jeden Fall einen Händler. Da hinten gibt's Loot. Den brauche ich auch. Vielleicht hätte ich den nicht so dringend gebraucht. Eventuell ist das ein Händler. Jimmy Hawks. A strange figure towers over the bar. A huge, unchainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out of view from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large clumsy hands looks dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those calloused fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved with a tankard gleams around his neck. What will it be? Lore religion check passed. The medallion you're wearing. That's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Kalian? I'm a tavern keeper. Best in the city. The best there's ever been. And I pray to the best god there is. Show me what you have. Crap verkaufen? Alle rüber, 17 Gläfen, weg damit. Warum haben wir so viele Armbrüste mit? What the hell? So, und da unten die ganzen so Händler-Crab-Sachen. Hat der überhaupt so viel Kohle? So, mal schauen, was haben wir dann noch? Schauen wir mal, ich würde ihm nämlich eigentlich echt ziemlich viel Kohle abnehmen, aber vielleicht gibt das mal ja einfach. Ich meine, eventuell nehme ich Baby was noch. Man, so ein guter Barkeeper wie er ist, hat er wohl ein bisschen Gold überhaben. Für diese tollen Waren, die ich nur ihm anbiete. Ich werde jetzt dann sicher noch Leute treffen, aber soll ich die deswegen so viel Zeug aufbehalten? Na. Das weg damit. So, Masterwork Longbow. Design, glaube ich, gleich gut. Jo. Den Weg. Iron Dagger, Masterwork Dagger, dann tun wir den Masterwork weg. Hold Iron Masterwork Dueling Sword, das klingt halbwegs vernünftig. Javelin. So, warte mal. So, da haben wir jede Menge Zeugs. Haufen Potions. Gloves of the Neophyte. Whenever the wearer of these gloves casts a cantrip of a first level spell that deals 1 additional points of damage per die rolled. Klingt gar nicht so schlecht. Dark Will. Once per day you may use this item to grant your party total consumer against ranged attacks for 1 minute. The wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously. It grants them the ability to cast the following spells: Ray of Enfeeblement, Scare, Ray of Exhaustion, Fear, and Waves of Fatigue. To cast the spell, the wearer still needs to have the spell slot of the required level. 13.000. Okay. Bag of Holding small. The Bag of Holding opens into a non-dimensional space. Its inside way larger than its outside dimensions. Regardless of what is put in it, its weight doesn't change. This allows the party to carry additional 100 lips of weight without suffering any negative consequences. Give? Schauen wir mal, ob er uns so einen Deal macht. Deal. Ich bin reicher und ich habe eine ziemlich krasse Taschen gefunden. So, und dann habe ich mir überlegt, dass ich die ganzen Waffen da weil einfach mal da einerlege. Falls ich sie vielleicht doch noch brauche. Verkaufen kann ich sie später auch. Ich brauche das Gold jetzt gerade nicht dringend. Begin resting. Ich will einfach nur meine Spells ready haben.
Do you have anything to drown your sorrows in?
You bet. Mold brew is a gourmet's dream. And tourists from Absalom used to come to us for our mushroom infusion.
So, theoretisch sollten meine Spells ready sein. Seien sie ja. Ah, das sind meine Jungs. Language with a nod. Here for a chat. I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess, your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? Mongrels have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? I'm as old as I look, no surprises there, but remember Sal? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see a target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it will get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing. This climbing is harder than before. Glenn clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in a stream, sometimes you catch sight of a grey-haired, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. My dad kept diaries, marking all the signs, and I saw it too the last year. I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. So, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me too well. I want to talk about Venduak, alright? Well, just friends or were we more than that? Whoa, you really don't pull your punches, do you? There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Venduak knew me better than anyone, she understood me better than anyone. She was the first girl I ever, you know? But we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she was just wasn't capable of those kinds of feelings. Thanks, I found everything I wanted to know. Dann werde ich jetzt einfach einmal zu der Truhe da gehen.
Let us press on.
Und dann den Keller untersuchen. Mehr Loot. Das können wir gleich oben verkaufen. Alles einstecken und den Barkeeper anran. Was haben wir da? Surrender thy soul to Delven. Einen schönen guten Abend, Joe, und vielen Dank für deinen Lurk. Ein Tiefling. Ein Tiefling, der die Wachen verarscht, scheinbar. Und looten wir zuerst einmal fertig und dann... Vielleicht finden wir ja was Interessantes raus, wenn wir mit ihm reden. Aha, okay, da über den Keller geht's auch outside. Wie ich da jetzt einmal eine Schalter umgelegt habe, kann er was? Da war glaube ich gerade irgendeine Karten dabei, oder? Eine Karte? Oh, Old Map of Avistan. Okay, doch, Karte.
We march ahead.
Okay, das ist wahrscheinlich eine Kombination, was man drucken muss, damit man dann den Button drucken
Hey,
kann.
Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljiff, or I'll knock your teeth out.
No, Jungs, ich will mit dem reden.
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljiff. Woljiff Jeffdo. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
The tiefling rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
Okay.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Why are you in
Does
chains?
it really matter?
Yes, it matters.
Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
I can't help you while you're chained up there. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy Woljif locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
Ich werde auf jeden Fall mit dir reden. Also alright, I'll talk to Irabeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We'll talk later. So, ist die eventuell sogar da herin? Nevia. Da ist der Horgus. Schuldet der mir nicht noch Geld? Here, take this. Yes, it's 2000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgus Charm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface and I duly paid for your escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, I have a job that would perfect for someone like you. Natural, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean? A job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze. And then lie down drunk in the gutter. Well, I think you are somehow different. A traveling knight perhaps, noble of heart, but without a coin to your name? You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of the mongrel cave, so why should I care what you do with the money once you've got it? Failed perception check, damn! Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. So, wir haben zur Auswahl. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Was ändert. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter, it's none of your business. My mansion is breathtaking, building with large garden in a wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Avada knows what's happened there since, therefore I would ask you, meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local parents for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside the tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also please do take Camellia with you, I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. Double the reward. And I'll think about it. Alright, that kind of when I could attack Queen guard for herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Hey, dann kann ich die jetzt auch noch ankacken. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Oh, really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Charm how to arrest a rebel. Auftrag bringt Erfahrung und Gold. Deal. Marvelous. Most excellent. I proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like back of my hand. But do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward.
Our path leads on.
Go to Horgus mansion with Camellia. Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers. Although they don't get all the credit, I am most diligent student. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice. But I assure you this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to a beautiful useless things? Drawn? Your speech tells me you have noble birth. Camellia laughs her practiced musical laugh as she watches you from under her lowered lashes. You are most insightful, a fine quality to have. Camellia's laughter ends and unspoken words hangs in silence. Still, I believe that being of noble birth doesn't give anyone the right to look down on others. Was hat sie doch nicht getan, oder? Forgive me, a question disturb you. I couldn't resist just a noble beautiful lady. I will stop bothering you immediately if talking to me upsets you. Oh mein Gott! Die Schleimspur kommt ja noch beim Monitor raus. There's nothing wrong with being a noble. People are not born equal. Ja. So nothing wrong. Was kann sie dafür, dass sie nobel geboren worden ist? I wouldn't have backed you as a philosopher. I'll have to go. I won't keep you. Wen haben wir da? I believe that help is already away. The queen will not leave us to die. Okay. Irabeth. Und da ist noch ein Loot. Okay, das können wir uns direkt durchlesen. Healer and the Spinner of Nightmares. Book of the first of the astonishing exploits of Venture Captain Healer, published by the Pathfinder Society. The Spinner of Nightmares let out a fiendish laugh, and the wind rose up, sending the sound rippling across the roof of the Carnivor's temple and off into the darkening sky. You cannot protect them, the demon worshipper performed a graceful pirouette, as though she were mocking the ungainly venture captain who was slowly picking his way across the slippery roof tiles. You may have saved Anthoticlus today, but you won't save everyone who gets in my way. I will always be one step ahead, plunging a dagger into the heart of the next fool and sullying your path with blood that will never be able to wipe clean. Hiller lost his footing once again, and only by a miracle did he not go plummeting to his death. His heart threatened to beat right out of his chest, but his mind was consumed with the feverish awareness of how close he was to his target. Only a few dozen paces separated him from the Spinner of Nightmares, close enough to shoot. But the venture captain wanted to be sure the bolt wouldn't kill her, merely maim and immobilize her. The hand crossbow that Hiller concealed under the folds of his cloak was throwing off his balance. The chick's up, Spinner of Nightmares. The venture captain leaned forward as though trying to catch his breath. A diversionary tactic designed to weaken the vigilance of the villain, who seemed to be waiting for something on the peak of the roof. You have one chance to save your pathetic life. Surrender now! The Spinner of Nightmares froze, as if considering the captain's words before lunging forward like a snake and spitting with contempt. You will never see her again! Click, twang! The whistle of the bolt released from its cradle, and the swish of the Spinner of Nightmare's cloak as she dodged the shot, laughing. Hiller let out a bellow, pouring all his hatred and despair into the shout. Dashed forward and slipping on the roof, tumbled to his knees. Gripping a jagged roof tile with his last remaining strength, the venture captain swallowed a grunt of pain and raised his head, only to watch his daughter abductor be swept away on a black wind. I will find you, the spinner of nightmares. Hila's shout seemed to carry far and wide across the whole of Mendev. I will find you, and I'll tear out your duplicitous heart. Okay. Irabeth. Any success? How is the city? War noch nicht draußen. There's a tiefling chained up in the defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Wolchief is petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating Canabres. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Wolchief knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have another vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in good word for him, hasn't he? Hero squints at you thoughtfully and shrugs. If you want to recruit Wolchief and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our god's hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend the days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful should you decide to take him along. Na dann, hol mal den einmal ab. Go, may Iomede keep you safe. Es sind verzweifelte Zeiten, ich sehe wenig Sinn darin, den da unten eingesperrt zu lassen. Wenn er wirklich nur geklaut hat, geben wir ihm eine Chance.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Irabeth, and I've decided to make you a part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
Wir werden sehen.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following?
Nicht hundertprozentig.
Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
Na dann. So, an Row kommen wir da. Der schon mit 2 Masterwork der Gas ausgerüstet ist. Perfekt. Dem kann man aber sicher zumindest ein Light Armor geben, oder? Na? Scheinbar nicht. Okay. So, der hat auch Spells. Da hat da drinnen Mage Armor, Color Spray, Creature is blinded, Grease, Burning Hands. Da gibt es zwar theoretisch Magic Missiles, aber ich glaube das. Lass mal den einmal so wie er ist. So, was hat's damit auf sich?
I will guide us.
Das ist eine Frage der Reihenfolge.
Godspeed. Press on.
Gut, das ist jetzt natürlich so ein Thema, da auf gut Verdacht mit den Hebel ewig rumzuprobieren. Das ist in etwa so wie das Farbenrätsel im Keller vom Dungeon, das bringt halt nicht wirklich was und ist eigentlich nur uncool, alle Kombinationen durchzuprobieren, also
We march ahead.
Also lassen wir das mal. So. Wir haben unten den Keller ausgerammt, das heißt, da gibt es noch einmal Zeug zum Verkaufen. Teil. Ach, da war noch was. Ich glaube nicht, dass sie das Buch noch brauchen werde. Geben wir ihm auch einfach Porzellanplate. Ne, werde ja nie mehr brauchen. So, die Karten kann noch weg. Na dann würde ich sagen, wir gehen raus. Sei es halt wert, auch nichts. Gar das mitzunehmen ist eigentlich Waste, Alter. So ist drin bleiben. Aber wo kriege ich jetzt dann meine Party her? Ich hätte eigentlich gedacht, dass ich sie, wenn ich da rausgehe, wieder dabei habe. Okay, vielleicht erst, wenn ich ganz rausgehe. Die kann man nehmen. Cool, lass sie da. Lass mal auch da. Jo, passt schon. Leave. Ah, da, Group Manager. Nehmen wir ihn natürlich noch mit einer. Und dann geht's los. So, das sind jetzt die verschiedenen Quests da, oder was? This is a global map of the city of Canabras. Move the visible part of the map using VSD Eclore. Some locations might not be available for travel, various reasons. As you experiment and progress through the game, you will discover new locations and routes. When traveling between the locations, you may be attacked by enemies, so make sure you get enough rest and don't let them take you by surprise. So, mein erstes Ziel wäre tatsächlich sein Menschen. Er heult sonst wieder rum, dass es ewig gedauert hat. A large rift tore Canavras apart, dividing a city into two halves. Currently there is no known way of crossing it. Aha, das heißt, ich komme da nicht drüber und müsste dafür zuerst Market Square machen, weil da hat es ja geheißen, ey, eventuell gibt es da einen Weg drüber. Da bin ich momentan, das heißt, ich komme auf auch nicht. Dann bleibt eh nur Market Square. Let's go. Foreign Horse. Foreign Horse. The bloody carcass of a strong steed with broken leg is covered in mangled armor. The saddlebag is intact. You can procure some regions for creating consumable items here. No, continue. You failed to sneak past enemies. Prepare to fight.
Yet another obstacle.
Okay, was haben wir da? Scheinbar nur Asser Dämonenviech oder was? Wenn es überhaupt ein Dämon ist. Ah, Schiel. Ja dann.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Zweimal heroisch vorbeigeschossen, sehr gut.
Cover me, all right?
Wenigstens trifft der auch
Cut
nichts.
you wide open.
Did I mess up again?
Na, alles okay, Lady.
You won't survive me.
Nehmen wir mal mit die Paradies. Und weiter. Do you want to enter this location? Yes. Okay, das ist dann wohl das, wo ich runtergefallen bin.
The deed is done.
These enormous cracks appear after a magically induced earthquake struck the land. Okay.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Charge!
The spirits demand your blood.
Okay, da ist der Charge abblockiert. Ja, dann bleibt Delay vorgehen. Der Lan rammt dann schon einmal den ersten weg. Optimal. Hit. Ja, die dürfen halt so oft zuhauen. Aber der Damage hat sich weit in Grenzen gehalten. The enemy red just landed a critical hit. Okay. Lauf das Hund sie weg.
Our path leads on.
Irgendwie. Das Game hat so eine Tastatur-Integration, die automatisch angesprungen ist und die flasht da jetzt in der Area voll nervig rum. Wir werden mal kurz schauen, ob ich die einfach ausschalten kann. Und ich finde diese Integrationen eigentlich ganz nett. Aber nicht, wenn sie nerven. Wenn ich die ganze Zeit in meinen Augenwinkel so Blitz sehe, dann nervt es halt. So, da unten haben wir einen Marauder Illusionist. Noch irgendwas anderes. So, ist wieder blockiert. Aber zumindest den Illusionist kann er gleich angreifen. Okay. Die Treppen runter geht scheinbar kein Charge. Wäre ja viel zu gefährlich. Also bei Treppen abwärts so Fullspeed rennen kann halt echt gefährlich sein. Gott, das sind ja noch zwei. Kamera dran ist voll useful und so scheinbar. Aber das heißt, ich kann da runtergehen und einfach einen von meinen Channel Negative Energy ausdrucken. Bam. Damit haben wir einen schon einmal weg.
You are today's sacrifice.
Len, den kannst du finishen, oder? Perfekt. Nice.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Go for their hearts.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Okay, der... Was hat der eigentlich? Hat der Angst oder was? Stunt.
No glory without risk.
So, was haben wir da? Normales Schwert. Brauchen wir nicht. Greatsword, brauchen wir nicht. Gold nehmen wir natürlich mit. Verletzungen halten sich in Grenzen, das passt doch. Okay, da ist ein Area Exit. Na, was haben wir denn da?
We'll make this quick. She won't feel a thing.
Was ist denn mit dir los?
I don't know. Can we really do this?
Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She is dressed in rags that barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly as the people argue heatedly around her. It is as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in educated circles above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
The knight brings his sword up above the girl's head.
They're insane. We've got to do something.
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
The girl smiles serenely, as though she isn't at risk of imminent death. Es ist auf jeden Fall strange, dass die so ruhig bleibt. Das ist schon verdächtig. Das ist verdächtig. Irgendwas... Die Szene ist, glaube ich, nicht so, wie sie am ersten Blick zu sein scheint. What's going on here?
Our weapons barely scratch the demon's hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomede so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
Okay, die Jungs sind einfach insane. Ich habe kurz vermutet, dass sie irgendwie für einen Dämonen gehalten haben, weil sie keine Ahnung was gesehen haben und das hätte sogar stimmen können. Aber einfach nur abschlachten, weil wir wollen unsere Schwerter in Blut tauchen, in der Hoffnung, dass der Gott auf unserer Seite ist. Really? Nein?
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
Ihr könnt ja an vielleicht 3 abstechen, wenn ihr so geil drauf seid. What the hell? So, wir haben Lore, Diplomacy und Intimidate. Lore, Religion, that's ridiculous. The teaching of Amore directly prohibits the killing of innocents. The goddess will curse you for making this so-called sacrifice. Man ist da 16er Check, ne? Who told you to do this? This sounds like cultist work to me. Sheath your weapons and step away from her. Or else... Warte mal, das, der Wert, der da steht, ist der, den ich erreichen muss. Das bedeutet, wenn ich Religion Check machen würde, Dann würde ich nur plus 8 kriegen. Das heißt, ich muss aber immer noch eine 8 würfeln. Da bin ich auf 10 und brauche 15. Und da bin ich auf 10 und brauche nur 14, wenn ich das richtig verstehe. Ja, dann probieren wir sie zu intimidaten. Oder ich verstehe das falsch.
Whoa, whoa, no need for that.
Na, Difficulty Class 14. Ich habe 19 gerollt, plus 10, 29 erreicht. Passt schon, richtig verstanden. Okay, gut. Whoa, 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 no need for that. The knight slowly back away from the girl.
Please, don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. Please don't hurt them. They just made a mistake.
Okay. The knight looks at each other and take off running.
Gone. And they all lived. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already. But we are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
No, you are not. I don't think you're an ordinary girl, and that crow you have there, it's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I know different types of tricks, but Soot taught me those. Now Soot here, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Who are you?
Call me Ember. I live here, on the streets, for many years now. But there's nothing to say about me.
Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful when fighting demons, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the street. Come with me. Warum nicht?
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party? What could we possibly want with this dirty little beggar?
Sure. Let's go. Soot is restless. I wonder why.
Okay, was haben wir da? Ah, ich könnte da mal Healbots zur Sicherheit nachchecken. So, sie hat noch 2. Da gehört auf jeden Fall einer her. So, Character. Class. Du, wo steht denn das? Ah, Witch. Available spells uses per day 6. Okay. Wir haben eine Witch. Na, warum nicht, ne? The more the merrier. Oder so. Sein Gegner. Den Alkohol nehmen wir noch mit. Attack!
Is not an option.
Da mal eine schöne Truppe. Sie wird gleich mal auf den großen chargen. Sehr schön. So. Der hat zwar ein bisschen was abgekriegt, aber ich glaube nicht, dass der Lan den finishen kennt. Vielleicht den Archer schon.
You won't survive me.
Jupp, sehr nice. Soll ich noch einmal Negative Energy channeln? Was nicht? Ich glaube nicht, dass es notwendig ist, oder? Ach, whatever. Hauen wir es raus. Boom.
Time to share your treasures.
Nice. Okay, nachdem sie nirgends zum Zuhauen kommt, kann sie ja dahinter gehen.
Surrender or else.
Surrender or else. Da wie mit Menschen auch gerade erst gesagt. Hey. Sehr gut, der Lion rammt wieder auf.
Cover me, all right?
Weil eigentlich waren diese Pearl-Dinger auch nichts wert, aber jetzt habe ich sie schon eingesteckt. Komposit Longbow. Den kann man mitnehmen. Der ist immerhin was wert. The cart is laden with possessions looted from the surrounding houses. Ah, alles eingesteckt. Bei mir ist der Loot viel besser aufgekommen als bei diesen Banditen. Crap. Das ist immer das Problem, wenn man dann nur mit einer Person vorgeht. Wohin gehst denn du? Erst einmal mit alle Fuhr einfach, es hilft dir nichts. Schöner Schlag.
The spirits demand your blood.
Vielleicht wird allein sogar zum Schießen kommen, aber egal, einfach mal aufdrucken. Okay, ihr könnt jetzt dann auf jeden Fall einen E-Heal ausdrucken. Das wäre nicht verkehrt, würde ich mal sagen.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
So, das sollte die gröbsten HP-Probleme erst einmal lösen.
Too late for apologies.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Gescheiter ist wahrscheinlich den finishen.
Make every strike count.
Ja, der Len macht den letzten. Hinten ist schon wieder irgendwo. Wahrscheinlich da vorne, oder?
Did we step on their toes as well?
Gut, Assa Dredge, der sollte nicht allzu lang leben.
I'll hit you.
Gut. Der Bolzen ging irgendwo hin. 2 Dredge.
To the fray!
Mehr Viecher?
Distract them from me.
Wir müssen halt allererst einmal einen ganzen Turn nur mit Larven verbrauchen, bevor sie wo draufhauen können. Ne?
You've crossed the wrong mountain.
Dafür, dass der Land dann einfach wieder finisht.
You won't stop us. I'm sorry I have to do this.
Charge das geht sich nicht einmal aus, dass sie durch die paar Meter auf den Gegner draufhaut, ey. Unglaublich. Hat ja nichts mehr, den kann ich locker tot zappen, oder? Easy. Build a bridge out of debris. Okay.
The mongrel bit.
Das heißt, da kann ich jetzt an diesen Graben überqueren, oder was? Na dann. Get across the rubble.
Forget it.
3 Stunden. Athletics Check fehlt. Ich habe 3 Stunden probiert, da drüber krallen.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan. Yet another obstacle.
Okay. In der Zwischenzeit haben wir es geschafft. Burning Hands ist halt der Cone. Ich würde jetzt einmal was anschreien. Ich schreie den jetzt dann an. Okay, die dürfen schon wieder alle nicht.
You won't survive me.
Time to share your treasures. Can we retreat already?
So, was haben wir da? Fliege, Tausendfüßler. Und da bis zum Tausendfüßler? Ja. Oh Gott. Ah. Wurscht. Schon hinhauen. Hello, na, wie war dein Tag? Mein Tag war gut. Kein Grund zur Beschwerde. Wie war deiner? Und habe ich was Wichtiges verpasst? Es kommt natürlich immer auf die Definition von wichtig drauf an.
This.
That is quite a discovery.
Es war jetzt nicht nichts storytechnisch gravierendes. Das kann man, glaube ich, unabhängig von der Definition sagen. die erste Stunde habe ich damit verbracht, in der Taverne rumzulungern, meine Spellbücher durchzukramen und alles herzurichten. In der Taverne im Keller eingesperrt war dieser Schurke. Da haben wir dann gleich geredet, dass wir den mitnehmen dürfen. Hoffen wir mal, dass er vertrauensselig bleibt. Wir werden sehen. Dann habe ich ein paar Aufträge angenommen und dann bin ich raus in die Stadt aufgebrochen. Das ist jetzt das erste Ziel, nachdem ich in die Stadt aufgebrochen bin. Also gibt es dann so eine World Map, wo man sich dann halt eine Area aussucht, wo man als nächstes hingeht. Und in der Area habe ich dann sie da getroffen. Das ist eine Witch. 3 so Paladine wollten sie opfern, damit ihre Schwerter dann gesegnet werden und besser gegen Dämonen funktionieren. Und die haben sie dann gesagt, so, sie sollen sich jetzt besser schleichen, weil sonst haben wir ein ernsthaftes Problem. Und dann habe ich sie gefragt, ob sie sich mir anschließen will. Das hat der Camilla da überhaupt nicht gepasst, weil sie ist halt nobel und das ist halt der Bettler-Lady. Aber I don't care. So, komm mal klar. So, jetzt werden wir dann noch schauen, ob wir die Fliege zappen können, aber das wird sich nicht ausgehen. Dann kann ich genauso gut weiter vorgehen. Der Rush, gib ihm kaum. Sollen sich schleichen, die Typen. Ja, haben sie dann auch getan. Target ist too far. Okay, den Turn beenden war ein Missklick. Aber es sollte nicht das Problem sein. Diese Fliege ist sowieso erledigt. Learning spells from scrolls. You have acquired a scroll of corrosive touch. Your character Volchief can learn the spell from it to add it to their spellbook. It will destroy the scroll. Arcane spellcaster classes that prepare the spells in advance, such as wizards, can learn the spells from scrolls to add them to their spellbook. It's an effective way to enrich your spell list. The scroll is then expanded. To learn a spell from a scroll, open the equipment screen of the character, rerun, click right and choose Memorize. Ja, das werden wir aber wirklich gleich mal mit allen Scrolls durchschauen, die wir haben. Wir haben ja doch die ein oder andere Scroll. Copy to Spellbook. Alles was er kann er. Sehr schön. Hat da ein bisschen was gelernt, der Bur. Was haben wir da? Scroll of Firebelly. Okay. Summon Monster. Tu mal, das haben wir leider. Okay, so, die hat er jetzt schon gelernt, aber er kann sie halt noch nicht casten. Ist ja wurscht. Gelernt hat er sie. So, da haben wir Mage Armor. Ich meine, es jetzt austauschen bringt man nichts, weil ich will jetzt nicht resten. Aber ich glaube, ich werde Mage Armor später rauswerfen für was anderes. Eventuell für Sleep oder Corrosive Touch. Corrosive Touch am ehesten. So, was haben wir da? Rubberdom the Actor. Even the huge pile of junk isn't enough to block out exclamations coming from beneath it. Reveal, O dear starling beauty mine, why didst to turn thy gaze on me, pray tell. Thy husband I called friend of time, but loved is like an ocean friendship well. Was? Cam the Soundmaster, but Willis, how are we to live, my sweet? Booms a deep masculine voice in response from beneath the same pile. Instinct rustling follows. Pass me the ale, will ya? Ein Athletics-Check mit Move the Pile of Junk. Wir kriegen plus 9, brauchen 13. Easy. Easy. The pile shifts easily, revealing an interest to some kind of cellar. There's interesting looking chest among the items. Silver ring, jade, green quartz, port 2. Look, the door is open and now we are completely at the mercy of whatever up there. If it's really a demon, we have nothing to fear. We have the power of inspiration after all. But hand me over my ladle and that rolling pin. Oh Gott, was sind denn das für Typen, hä? Grandma Gretlen, the director. Now look, it's not a demon at all. Greetings, kind friend and rescuer. I'm Grandma Gretlen, theater director, and these are the members of my company. Granny, that's not a ladle. That's one of the props of the Malevolent Lich performance, the one Tiana made. It's a scepter or something. She made it out of my ladle. She wanted to use a broom handle, but I put paid to that daft idea. Oh, I've seen your show, you're very funny, especially your play where the woman slowly climbs onto the chair while singing and then falls off again. Well, it's actually a great tragedy about unrequited love. The chair you see, it represents a tower of rock rising up above the raging sea like the finger of a giant. And the woman, she isn't supposed to fall, but rather gracefully cascade into the swirling abyss below, just like I showed her 100 times. But I'm glad you liked it. What were you doing down there? We were rehearsing. Our art distracts us from our fear and panic. Okay. Really? When I'm scared I eat. We tried that too, but our supplies ran out. But art. Oh. Art is eternal. Can you get somewhere safe? Oh, don't worry on our account. We'll be going to our basement in the next street, that's where our lambkin is. We're not afraid of demons with lambkin around. Lambkin? Our male lead. He'll protect us. Don't worry. We know what we are doing. Okay. Okay. I have to go. Thank you again for rescuing us, stranger. Today you did a great service for Mendivian culture and perhaps the culture of all Golarion. You will certainly be remembered in future as the one who saved the critically and publicly acclaimed Next Door Theater. Vielleicht kriege ich dafür einen Ritterorden verliehen. Also so ein Ritterschlag. Es scheinen wichtige Leute gewesen zu sein.
I will guide us.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Undead and Energy Challenge. Your enemy ghoul is undead. Your party has the character Sirda. That's me. Me! Who has the ability to channel positive energy, which is very effective against the undead if you use it to damage them. Negative energy heals the undead and damages the living. Positive energy is the opposite, it heals the living and damages the undead. You can't use the both effects, healing and damaging at once. When you use the channel energy ability, you need to specify which effect you want to use. You can damage the enemy ghoul with the ability channel energy damage undead possessed by your character Sirda. Dann werden wir das wohl einfach austesten müssen, oder?
You are today's sacrifice.
Sie können ja schon einmal eine chargen. Wenn ich mit ihr... Ja, okay, die stehen jetzt... Da kriege ich einen Cone nie und nimmer gut eine. Mit Burning Hands triff ich da immer meine eigenen Leute mit. Ja, dann schießen wir halt einfach mit der Armbrust, oder?
Too late for apologies.
Make every strike count.
Wieder schauen. So, und dann... Das da irgendwo. Channel Positive Energy, Damage Undead. Hat funktioniert. Man nicht, dass ich Zweifel dran gehabt hätte, aber
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
ich hätte getestet.
Go for their hearts!
Godspeed.
So. Schauen wir zuerst da lang, oder? Ja.
We will prevail.
Was haben wir da? Noch mehr Ghouls? Zombie. Effizient. Effizient.
I'll cut you wide open. Ha!
Sie kommt mit ihren Charge wieder mal nirgends hin.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oder? Da hinten sind auch noch welche. Lan, der sieht alles. Was haben wir da? Ein Shadow. Gleich mal die Wein zappen. Ah, das ist noch zu weit weg. Ich weiß nicht, ob es eine gute Idee ist, mit ihr so nah zu weit zu gehen, aber ich will unbedingt eine Burning Hands einsetzen. Gut, der Zombie hat es nicht so gut überstanden, auf jeden Fall.
Distract them for me. Huh?
Ja, wobei mit dem Land zusammen werden die das unten schon ganz gut managen, denke ich.
No glory without risk.
Sehr schön. Nehmen wir zuerst einen Zombie.
Survive me.
Sehr schön. Kommt noch ein Zombie. Ah, den Divine Sap kann sie auch.
I'll hit you!
Das hat nicht so gut funktioniert. Okay, Attack of Opportunity, weil sie im Nahkampf die Fernkampfwaffen verwendet. Alter, es wird immer mehr. So langsam weiß ich nicht, ob ich so begeistert davon bin, da aufgeteilt zu sein.
You are today's sacrifice!
Into the fray.
Man, noch ist alles unter Kontrolle.
Endure this.
Es ist von der Reichweite her halt definitiv noch nix. Sag mal, was war das da? Light of the Angels. Was ist das? Es ist halt nichts dabei, was mir gerade wirklich gut in den Kram passt von den Spells her. Und zappen wir ihn halt weiter. Macht halt nicht so viel Damage, der Zap. Wenn sie jetzt noch einmal ihre Burning Hands einsetzt.
Cover me, all right?
Go for their heart!
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
So, und du wärst ja wohl da. Ne, okay, Badezombies wird er wahrscheinlich nicht schaffen.
Make every strike count.
Aber immerhin an. Vielleicht hätte sie einfach mit der Armbrust schießen sollen. Hätte wahrscheinlich mehr Damage gemacht.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
Pala hat keinen Stress.
You've crossed the wrong line.
Ist ja schon fast intens geworden, der Fight. Hey. So, ich werde mir ganz kurz was zum Trinken holen, dann looten wir da alles und schauen wir weiter. Bin gleich wieder da. Ich hoffe, meine Party-Members da waren brav, während die weg war. So, da ging es weiter. geht's aber auch noch irgendwo hin. Okay, was haben wir da? The city has fallen at last. How glorious. Now I can stop pretending to be a shopkeeper and spend all my time on a true passion reanimating the dead. Shopkeeper by day, Necromancer by night, oder was?
You can handle them, right?
Klar können wir die handeln. Easy, ist eine leere Untote. Was für eine Frage, hä? One creature within medium range. Kriegen wir den hin? Na. Gedon?
You won't stop us.
Einfach mit der Armbrust drauf. Achso, weil es nur Action oder Movement ist, jetzt an dort passt. Das erklärt, warum es höchstens ausgeht. Alter, wenn ich da hergehe. Das könnte ein schöner Cone-Attack werden. Nicht perfekt, weil der hinten nicht dabei ist. Aber trotzdem nice. Der hat schön gesessen. So, du kannst dir da hinten eine chargen, kriegst halt unterwegs eine Attack of Opportunity. Whatever. Das ist nicht das Problem, denke ich. Der Lion wird einfach mal schauen, dass er sich den Necro da holt. So kennt man ihn nicht. Normal trifft er besser. So, ihr müsst jetzt dann wahrscheinlich im nächsten Turn auch Feuer spucken können mit Mensch. Dann charge du einmal den Zombie an. Was ist denn jetzt gerade passiert? Achso, Attack of Opportunity von der Sealer, oder? Jo. Hock den einfach weg, während er vorbeigehen will. Easy. Ich glaube, der ist eingeschlafen, oder? Ja, da liegt er. Nice.
I'll cut you wide open.
Ja, Position kann sie da bleiben.
No glory without risk!
Endure this!
Sehr schön. So kennt man den Lan. Der macht nochmal Work. Da gibt's nix.
Distract them for me.
Oh, der Hit hat aber gesessen.
Surrender or else.
Der nicht.
The spirits demand your blood.
Into the fray!
Hey!
Lan.
Make every strike count.
Sehr schön. So, Ja, da kriege ich halt... Ich glaube nicht, dass ich den Gegner kriege, ohne dass ich meine Jungs da mitnehmen. Wobei, ich kann mich ja vorher noch bewegen. Aber wenn ich... Sieht das irgendwie aus von der Überlegung her? Vielleicht von da. Na. Nö, das geht sich nicht aus. Ah, dann. Zap.
Time to share your treasures.
Too late for apologies.
Jetzt wird da wohl aufwachen, oder? Ja. Wie alle gleich mal draufhauen, wenn er aufsteht.
You are today's sacrifice.
I will not falter.
You can trust me.
So, was hat er da? Strength Damage. Can be restored by resting or with help of lesser restoration spell. Kann ich den zufällig? Virtual Guidance. Miss. Nö, lesser restoration kann ich wohl nicht. Egal. So, was haben wir da? Eine magische Glefe. Wieder diese Masterwork-Glefen. Und eine Scrolls. Date from newest. Copy the Spellbook. Spellbook. Dark Horn. Ja, was ist halt der Glefe? Kann auf meine Leid benutzter Glefe. Sonst wäre sie ja, glaube ich, ganz nett. The disfigured corpses are laid out in neat pattern in preparation for an unknown ritual. Gut, das war's dann da. Das haben wir noch an Loot.
We march ahead. I have managed.
The dug up graves and other clues indicate that the necromancer has recently conducted a ritual here. Das wird die Zombies erklären. Kann ich auch gleich noch zum Grabräuber werden? Eine magische Wurfaxt. Wieso grabt man sowas ein? Ist ja noch nützlich. Throwing Axe +1. So sweet it is to kill. Vielleicht waren das die was ihre Schwerter im Blut tauchen wollten. Weiß es nicht. Vielleicht bin ich schuld, dass die gerade gestorben sind. Aber das unschuldige Mädchen töten hätte es halt so oder so nicht gerechtfertigt. Also, whatever. Wow. Your character Camellia was poisoned, afflicted with condition sickened. Alter, das trifft mich ja! So weit hinten! What? Poison is a melon condition that harms you every round and usually works for about 6 rounds. You can get it from a venomous creature, gas clouds, or some spell. The most common effect of poison is ability damage, so for curing damage, make sure you're no longer poisoned. Gehen wir mal aus dieser Giftebene raus.
I'll hit you.
Wahrscheinlich sind die komplett immun gegen Gift, oder? Na, da vorne steht ja noch die Sila. Ja, dann lassen wir das mal. Wie das ausschaut, ne? Wenn sie eh schon drin steht, einmal drauf. Ist schon wurscht.
You won't survive me.
Go for their hearts!
You won't stop us.
Ja, wer will Honig, postet einen YouTube-Link, wo man dem vertrauen kann. Einen wunderschönen guten Abend.
Together we stand.
So, kann ich diesen Spell jetzt dann dismissen da?
These magics should be used in other ways. These magics should be used in other
Open your
ways.
heart to me.
Ein kleines Schmankerl für den Seng-Chat. Ja, das heißt, der Seng selbst darf das nicht anschauen, oder was? So, sie ist jetzt noch sickened. Pause, weil es ist, glaube ich, gleich weg. The character takes -2 penalty on all attack rolls, weapon damage rolls, saving throws, skill checks und ability checks. Natürlich darf er. Okay. Ah. Wie er sich immer wegtrat, so. Ah. Oh, ist das süß. Danke dafür. Voll süß. Sperren sind schon was Tolles. 75% oder mit Lockpick auf 100. Nimm mal die 100. Der ist aber ein Moppel. Ein häufiges Problem bei Waschbären in Gefangenschaft.
Ask nicely.
Also mit Waschbären halt, die beim Menschen leben. Da muss man wirklich enorm aufpassen, was man ihnen zu essen gibt. Aber ist ein sehr häufiges Problem. Cold Iron Masterwork Longsword. Stecken wir es halt ein. Okay, da oben ist sicher noch irgendwas. Wer bist du? Curl, a short-hooded figure is poking about some bodies lying in the middle of the street. The stranger drags the first body off the road, respectfully props it up against the wall, and places the corpse's hand on its chest. The figure then freezes as if hesitating, and you see him reach out his hand toward the beautiful gold amulet hanging around the corpse's neck. He checks his hand back, hesitates, then reaches out again. Lawful. Well, well, look what we have here. Looting corpses, are we? Oder einfach nur, hey, who are you and what are you doing here? Die Stadt geht komplett vor die Hunde und ich hab grad selber ein Grab ausgerammt. Ich bin Kleriker, kein Inquisitor, Gesetzeshüter. Wir fragen ihn einfach, was er da tut. The stranger almost jumps out of his skin and the hood falls from his head. Under a mob of red curls, a round halfling face looks up to you. Oh, phew! Thought you were demons! Good day to you, good sir. Curl? Is that you? The halfling looks at Sheila and smiles proudly. Oh, Lady Sheila, you're alive! Goodness me, that's the second bit of good news on an otherwise lousy day. What was the first bit of good news? Stick around and see for yourself. What? Was ist denn daran gut? Can you tell me anything useful about what's going on in the city? I'm afraid not, good sir. I just left the defender's heart. Before that I was holed up in there, too scared to leave. Although spending all the time under Commander Irev's nose sure was something, she's a strict one. Phew! When she gets antsy... Don't even start. I've heard enough of a briefing down my neck to last me a lifetime. Do you know this person, Sheila? Meet Rimvry, better known as Curl. He hails from Canabres and he fights in the Condemned. He's one of a kind, a rogue with a heart of gold. Sheila smiles and adds a little bit more seriously. Curl, it's probably none of my business, but you should ask yourself if what you were about to do is right. The halfling's cheeks flush and he hides his hand behind his back. I didn't... just thought... it doesn't matter. So what are you doing here? Robbing corpses? No! Rimvry Curl may be a rogue, but he doesn't loot corpses. We just need to get these poor lads' bodies off the road. My friends, they're on a terribly important mission, and we need to get through. He is interrupted by the sound of wheels rolling on the paving stones. A cart drawn by a sad little horse appears from around the corner. A pretty half-elf is driving it and a young man in knight's armor is walking alongside. Even from a distance you can see his tanned face and his blue eyes shining brightly. The halfling straightens up. See? A terribly important and very heroic mission. My friends and I are saving a beer cart from the demons. Ach Gott, warum hat er es nicht gleich gesagt? Normalerweise müssten da noch viel mehr Leute zur Bewachung der Bierfässer dabei sein. Das ist ja fahrlässig. Elin the Hound Hearts. As he is speaking, the newcomers notice you and the knight cries out in jubilation. Sheila, I never thought I'd see you again. I thought you were headed to the main square, the center of the demon's attack. Jana Aldori, the half-elf, smiles warmly at Sheila. Hey friend, glad to see you alright. When we got separated by the crowd at the celebration, I knew right away that something was wrong, and when demons appeared all of a sudden I realized that was the reason why I had been so anxious. But I couldn't find you among the dead in the square, so I kept my hopes up, and I was proved right. So here the other bit of good news. Curl was talking about you and Jenna are alive. Actually, by good news I meant that we found a beer cart. So Ellen and Jenna being alive amounts to a quarter bit of good news. Well, maybe half. A beer cart? How about sharing with us? I'm sure we could all do with a drink. Certainly. Give me a flask, friend, and if you walk with us to the Defender's Heart, we can have more thorough sampling of the spoils there. Despite the cheerful tone, she looks at you with anxious hope. Jenna, there's no need. The heart is very close and the three of us will be enough to fight off an attack if there is one. Besides, our friend here surely has better things to do, more important things than carry barrels of beer, Vega. By the way, my name is Elan, Sir Elan of the Hound Hearts. I'm glad to meet someone who survived this madness. You haven't told me how you know Sela. I reversed a night that your friend Kerr was trying to rob a corpse. Ist mir doch egal, ob der den Korps robben wollte. You haven't told me about how you know Sela. I'll save the story till we are back at the Defender's Heart. You're going back there, aren't you? We'll have reason to toast our spoils. Not on, I have to go. So long, we should meet again either in the city or Defender's Heart. Sure you will. Come to the tavern. We celebrate the valiant rescue of this barrel together. So, da ist nicht einmal mitgenommen, oder was? Es wird hier schlecht da, der gute Loot. Oh Gott.
Did we find trouble? No, they did.
So, Len.
Endure this.
Den da hinten. Optimal.
Surrender or else.
Cover me, all right?
I'll cut you wide open.
Unhöflich.
Do not hold back.
Ich hab so das Gefühl, Nahkampf ist nicht mehr Stärke, wenn ich da direkt zweimal vorbei hau.
Make every strike count.
I will see this through.
Your character setup was attacked while they were flat-footed. The creature is flat-footed when it doesn't expect an attack. In this state, it loses dexterity bonus to AC and becomes vulnerable to sneak attacks. Okay. Was habe ich da? Ghoul Fever. Effect 1d3 Constitution Damage, 1d3 Dexteration Damage. Onset 1 day. Gott, jetzt bin ich da noch mit irgendeinem Crap erkrankt.
Our time has come.
Aber ich habe auch dagegen natürlich keinen Spell vorbereitet, oder? Wofür auch?
Well,
Na, da ist auch nix. Ja, whatever. Könnte so schlimm sein. Somebody ripped lumps of flesh from these dead bodies. Use the trunk to cross the gap. Davon kommen Kultisten. Clear mal zuerst
I'll cheer
vorne.
you on from over there. Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Hier da drüben ist das Centipede. Gut, auf dem vorderen kann er zweimal schießen. Dann machen wir das. Perfekt. Autsch. Unangenehm.
too late for apologies. The spirits demand your blood.
No glory
Paladin trottet zu langsam hinten nach. Ach, da ist noch einer. Das sind noch zwei. Schauen wir mal, ob wir das Cure Moderate Wounds. Na, zu weit weg. Das kann ich ihm aufhören.
Distract them for me.
Gut.
You won't survive me.
Adi, T.
I'll hit you!
You are today's sacrifice!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Halt jetzt uncool, dass da drüben dieser Centipede mit mir in Combat ist. Mal schauen, vielleicht kommen wir out of combat, wenn wir weit genug weggehen mit alle. Okay, irgendwo fighten auch noch eine Crusaders. Das könnte eh da gegen den Centipede sein. Ja. Da ist definitiv was gestanden, dass ein Centipede eine Crusaders attackt. Achso, ich bin out of combat. Ha. Aufpassen, Markus. Pick the lock.
I am helpful, am I not?
Gut, da drüben habe ich schauen können, dass ich drüber latsch. Endlich sollten da alle herkommen. Ihr habt ja eine Nachricht auch noch gekriegt.
This is my kind of work.
Defeat is not an option.
Und da haben wir gleich 4 von die Viecher. Perfekt. Eine Chargen geht sich nicht aus, aber vorgehen und draufstechen, ja. Na dann, machen wir
Time
das.
to share your treasures.
Einfach draufstechen. Viel Blut ist gespritzt, leben tut er trotzdem noch.
Go for their hearts!
Oder ist da einfach nur ein zweiter am gleichen Spot? Das kann das sein. Ah ja, da ist. Da ist einfach definitiv noch einer auf dem Spot.
Endure this!
Der Lan.
Stop us.
Er rammt einfach auf, der Irre. Stories told us by spirits, The Night with Ferret Hands, Canaris Medium Alliance Publishing. The demon puts 2 plates on the table in front of me. On each, a bleeding human heart. Look, he says, the right one belongs to a noble and righteous man, a loyal servant of Iomede. The left one is the heart of a murderer and a scoundrel. But something tells me they taste exactly the same. I remain silent and don't move. I couldn't if I tried. One of mine is pinned to the white armrest with a knife thrust to the hilt. The other similarly pinned helpless on the table. The demon circles and carefully brushes away a strand of hair that stuck to my forehead. Your silence saddens me. Don't waste your time on this performance, monster. I say, though I have scarcely the energy to breathe, if you wish to torture me, go ahead. If you want to kill me, then kill me. My life is in your hands, but my soul is not, and never will be. The hearts on the plates in front of me continue oozing blood. They've only just been ripped from their owners' bodies. The right one apparently belonged to my partner, the left to the criminal we were escorting. But the demon who'd set his lair in the old mill killed without discrimination. He walks around the armchair and stops behind my back, placing a clawed hand on my shoulder. This is not a performance at all. It's a feast, and I'll be sated. No, not with this. You can see my eyes still on the hearts. With you. It's your heart that's in front of me right now, so helpless. The claws on my shoulder tighten a bit. Goddess, help me endure. After a moment, the demon continues. You know what you don't understand? You zealous servants of law and good? He seems to like the sound of his own voice. It was you who brought us to your land. The more of you who gather here at the edge of the world wound, so brave, burning with righteous wrath, the more like me will come from the abyss. It's not because we want to win a war and conquer the world. They are as far removed from... perhaps our lords want this, but trust me, they are as far removed from their subject as our lords and kings are from you. No, we come for those like you, for the persistent and the proud, who won't break until the end, for those whose suffering is sweet, and lasts, for the sweets. He appears in front of me again, licking his lip. I well know that he'll never grant me a quick death. So, düster? Würde ich jetzt nicht als gute Nachtgeschichte für ein Kind empfehlen?
I will guide us.
Was haben wir da? Ramian, my beloved brother. I admire a sail, of course, but would you not agree this is hardly the time to be standing guard over a hole that no one will ever emerge from? Or perhaps you are concerned that someone will decide to go for an item stroll and will accidentally fall into it? Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to better use, for instance, fighting demons or clearing rubble while the people trapped beneath it might still be alive? The face of his golden-curled Asima is beautiful even by the standards of his kind, in whose veins runs the blood of angels. His melodious voice sounds cheerful, but a bitter reproach is sinners in his gaze. Hulrun. Don't you dare call me brother, heretic. The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious in this stern old man. His armor is dented and covered in blood, and his unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claws and fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony and his voice, accustomed to barking orders, is harsh and clipped. How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect the city, especially now when followers of your temple were caught committing treason. To my mind, you are no different than the demon worshippers, those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Everyone knows, my dearest Pilat, that in your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you have long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe, and good from evil. That's what happened with my adepts, whose act of treason was genuine attempt to save the city. And yet again, I am forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under the rubble in our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task, and not kept them here, surrounding a useless and utterly harmless hole in the ground. Harmless? Well, if it's on your say so, then it must mean there's someone down there. The associates, no doubt. They are just waiting for us to abandon our post before they slink out and try again to... And you? I remember you. You appeared in my city the day the demons attacked and Terendalev died. What are you doing here? Answer at once, or I'll have you strung up by your ankles before you know it. Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take 100 of your sword. And this, what is this hideous creature? Lan, at your service. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. I've lived in Canaveras my whole life. You haven't ever seen me before? Ah, it must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. We have been meaning to complain to the city authorities that our paving stones have been in need of repair for a long time. The First Crusade? So you are a mongrel? Huh. You obviously know human speech surprisingly well, in fact. Alright, let's be off with you. If he causes any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. I'm a crusader. I'm fighting to liberate Canaveras from the demons. Who are you to be asking me such questions? You're in a fight? Be my guest. Na, er stellt tatsächlich seine Autorität in Frage. Der Typ mault immer nur herum. Beim ersten Mal, wo wir ihn getroffen haben, und jetzt schon wieder. I find it passing strange that you don't already know who I am. Hulrim Shepok, Prelate of Canaveras, Inquisitor by the grace of Iomide, Defender of the city by grace of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, against threats from within and without. Na gut, wenn er Inquisitor ist, erklärt das so einiges. And yes, we can see you. You've done sterling job protecting the city. I am Ramian of Edmep, prior to the Temple of Desna, which, alas, currently lies in ruins. Wise Hurin here believes it is vital to guard this hole in the ground from which he is certain demons will emerge at any moment. I've been trying to convince him that the city has far more urgent matters to deal with. For instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. You know what? There may be in fact be one matter that is more important than guarding this hole. I've put it off, and look where it led us. I should have had hung you from the gates back when you dared to defend your gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkorians had hanged Eru Warlish while they had the chance, there never would have been a war. I won't repeat my mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, seize the scum. Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times, but threatening to hang someone without trial? This is unworthy of our servant of Iomide. Lest you forget, girl. We may serve the same goddess, but you are not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Iomide, and I won't question yours. So, wir können mal fragen, what precisely are you accusing Ramian of, Inquisitor? Ancient Mythic Pass. Light of Memory. Behold, Inquisitor, bear the gift of an angel who died in the caves below Canaveras. I am no enemy of yours. You're doing what's right, Hurin. There's no place in a crusade for troublemakers. Oder chaotic, don't lay a finger on him, or you'll have to answer to me. Find mal raus, was genau die Beschuldigung ist. Treason. Not long before the city was attacked, several followers from his temple tried to secretly access the Wardstone and perform an unknown ritual over it. The Wardstone of Canaveras, the gift from Iomide, the bringer of light, wrought by the hands of her herald, the first in the chain, and followers of that crazy runt of goddess tried to meddle with it using their magic after hearing a voice in their dreams. My soldiers almost had them caught when Ramian got in the way. allowing the traitors to go to ground. I made a mistake. I didn't have him locked in a cell and interrogated to within an inch of his life. And now the city lies in ruins. It's time to rectify that mistake. I've told you before and I tell you again, my people foresaw the attack on the city. They knew the Wardstone already carried the seed of corruption within itself, and they were simply trying to heal it. I've heard similar claims before now. Where was it? Ah, yes. From Staunton Wayne, the traitor who brought down Dresden. The lesson of the past have taught us a great deal, and that is why I've never believed you or your mob's lies for even a second. And I was right. Und sagen wir mal unser goldenes Licht hervor. Behold, Inquisitor, I bear the gift of an angel who died in the caves of below Canaveras. I am no enemy of yours. The old man frowns and whispers something. A prayer spell? With each word his face relaxes. You are telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger, and later, under less fractious circumstances, I would like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. But that can wait. Now I must deal with this filth once and for all. Also 3 Möglichkeiten. Für den Hullrun, für den anderen oder raushalten. Ich meine, wir wissen nicht, was sie da für ein Ritual abgezogen haben, aber... War das wirklich ein Problem? Also... Ich tendiere ja schon dazu, ihm zu glauben. Mir kommt vor, dass dieser Herr Inquisitor feuerliche Schlüsse zeigt. Nö, wir werden uns da einmischen. Und zwar gegen den Inquisitor. Don't lay a finger on him, or you'll have to answer to me. The Asima holds his hands in blackened gesture. Stop! You're the defenders of what remains of Canaveras. Can't you think of anything better than do that? Than beat each other's throats in the ruins of the city? You're a fool, Hurin. You're a zealot and a murderer, but you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the Wardstone was weakened. You wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked. You shoot me away. The truth is that my young adepts were trying to save the Wardstone, and you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this treachery are the demons, but you have done nothing to prevent it. And now you would still rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit that you were wrong, as always. With a wave of his hand, the Asima vanishes. Hätte er das mal gleich gemacht, dann hätte ich jetzt... Naja. Ich hab meine Seiten klar gemacht und dazu stehe. He fled, the heretic. He's not up to expecting me to rush off in pursuit, but that won't work on me. What about you? If you truly have been marked out for a gift of heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go, bring back the filthy traitor. I'm almost certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. The attempt to bewitch the Wardstone is clear proof. Ramian must be captured. I see you suffered greatly in battle. Ja, weil er ein paar Zwill auf seinen Schädel gekriegt hat. Nonsense, I had to deal with a brood of Nabasus. It was nothing. I've taken on worse enemies with the goddess' help. Nabasus, also known as death demons, have the ability to drain their victims' life force. Judging by Huron's Pella, he has lost a significant amount of his energy. The Inquisitor can bluster as much as he wants, but right now he is far from the peak of his abilities. Ramian, you really want to hear about the attack? Those crazed Death Knights were always bursting into my study with their incoherent prophecies that came then in their dreams. I won't lie, sometimes what they said did come to pass, But can we really rely on the woolly dreams of heretics over the cold hard facts of intelligence reports? Plenty of demons could have easily fooled them and whispered the treasurer's plan in their dreams, and those lunatics would have been only too happy to listen. This time, Mr. Curse for Brains came to me, declared the demons were about to attack the city, and the Wardstone's power was diminished by some kind of contamination or taint. You may forgive me for even repeating the words. After uttering such blasphemy, he should have been locked up along with his followers and interrogated. But instead, I simply increased the surveillance on them, and what next? My people caught them red-handed trying to attack the Wardstone with unknown magic. And not 3 days later, the demons attacked the city. There's an obvious connection between these events. Whether deliberately or under a demonic influence, the lessons played right into the hands of the Sky's hordes, and they almost left the city completely defenseless. Ramian covered for his people the whole time, and he helped them escape, my gods. After that, what else can he be put traitor and a heretic? Why are you obsessed with finding enemies everywhere you look? Why? Why? You must not be from these parts, or you wouldn't have asked such a question. I look for enemies everywhere because our enemies are everywhere. Who are we at war with? Demons? Demons and cultists. They are masters of deception. They worm their way into your favor and masquerade in all manners of false guises. Do you think Dresden was taken by force? No, by trickery. Were it not for me, Canaris would have gone the same way long ago, captured out from under our noses. Now listen to what I'm about to tell you. This was a long time ago. I was very young, and then I had just joined the crusade back then. Canaris didn't have a garrison so much as a public thoroughfare. Anyone who wanted could just stroll into the city. One day, at dawn, a group of refugees came up to the city gates, bold as brass. The guards let them in, and why not? For no one was ever turned away. It was no matter. Everyone was welcome in our city. If one came from Mendev, or if you told yourself here from across the seas, the crusade accepted all and sundry. But on this occasion, we paid dearly for our laxity. Just as soon as those innocent lambs entered the city, they transformed into demons and rushed toward the Wardstone, slaughtering everyone who tried to stop them. 62 people died in less than a minute. The demons used their mutilated corpses to desecrate the obelisk. None of them dared to go near it. The light of the goddess burned them all, so they threw their blood from afar, spattering the Wardstone from every direction. And the lead demon, an eyeless beast, Minago is her name, ja, die haben wir schon getroffen, cheered and gloated, saying we mortals had been sitting ducks, and the creature was right too. We let our guard down, and we got what we deserved. That bloodbath came to be known as the Red Morning Massacre, and it was burned into the townsfolk memories. Since then, Canaris has adopted different practices. Heretics, cultists, spies, or the rebel who coveted Aurelius' glory, we drove them all out of the city. We haven't had any trouble here since. Many have come here. Even the Baylor Koramzadeh, and they have all been sent straight back to where they came from, or else they were killed for their trouble. You see, the Skyrim himself had to crawl out of the abyss and come here for the goddess curse him in order to break through our defense. And what did he do? He left again. And we are still fighting. Now what is what vigilance and discipline can do? Ob da wirklich nichts Gefährliches im Hole ist? Aber ich glaube, es bringt wirklich nichts da rumzustehen. There's nothing dangerous in this hole. You have no reason to guard it. You told me yourself that you received a light-bringing gift from an angel who perished in the caves, below our feet. It is no secret that those passages are teeming with dangerous creatures that could kill anyone. Even a warrior of heaven. Demons and demonic offspring love roaming about underground. That's why I will be keeping an eye on this hole. If the beasts decide to attack from here, we'll be ready for them. Where can I find Ramian? How should I know? The weasel can't have gone far. He turned invisible. He's probably hunkered down in some hole like the treacherous little rat he is. and he'll be sitting, trembling and waiting till he's dragged out of there. With the prelate after you, that seems the only sensible thing to do. It's what I'd do. I'm sure lots of things sound sensible to you. And it works too, as you can see. I'm still alive. Gut, ich muss den Typen jetzt nicht angreifen, aber gehen. Go on then, if you have to. It would be good if you could return with the head of that scum. I remember you. When Father and I arrived in the city, you met us. What is this gibberish? As if I have nothing better to do than arrange meetings with vagrants. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting the bonfire. Father died, and then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames. But then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape from the fire? That is a crime in itself, which means that you have been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was finally fulfilled. You are lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does now, or wrinkled and grey. He was young with a big mustache. Ember smiles broadly and draws a large brushy mustache in the air with a finger. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. This knight is a true hero. He just really wanted to protect the city. Only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. Die Knights, die sie abschlachten wollt, hat's ja schon so sanft so, ja na, die verstehen das ja nur falsch. So ist okay. You forgive him after what he did to you? He thought he was doing what was right. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was a good thing, but you're really doing a bad thing that hurt someone? But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. True. Burun, you sent an innocent girl to be burned at the stake. Don't you want to ask for forgiveness? Pah! Hardly. Anyway, it can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive the fire? And what about the crow that's always flying around here? I advise you to take a closer look at this innocent little lamp of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. Let's go, Amber. Yes, let's go. Bye bye, kind knight.
Godspeed.
Was haben wir denn da für ein Leuchteding? Oh Gott. Viel Text heute wieder mal, viel Text. Day 18th, month Arodus, the 8th, year 4715. The demon invasion transformed all of Canaris into one great battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans, the demon lord Iskari, leading his hordes from the abyss, and the dragon Terendalev, the mightiest of the city's defenders and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of battle moment by moment simply by looking at the ruins. From chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive, to the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing upon the ruins. It is Serda, and he is not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place. Like a gaze untethered from any observer, this mysterious force unknown to mortal kind silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Zerda is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The past, present and future stand before him as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes and flecks marring its splendor. The past, present and future stand before him. Wir können noch alle drei Varianten fragen. Die Past ist, der Drache ist vom Dämonen getötet worden. Die Future ist meiner Meinung nach ungewiss. Also nehmen wir die Present. What present does he see? Ruins. Blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the Eon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive, the dead will be judged by Pharasma. All is as it should be. But the demons circling in the sky or prowling through the streets create a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be there. The world of mortals is for mortals, the demon's place is in the demon world. How sublime the world would be if everyone in it knew its place. But even the demons aren't as apparent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the Eon's eyes its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the Eons still existed, they would not stop until the crystal was unmade. But the Eon is gone, and only their gaze remains. Zerda picks the crystal up of the dirt and stores it in his pocket. He is mortal, which means he has the power to decide what to do with it. What past does he see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life, although the one and life are in opposite terms for eons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. The Eon appeared from outside this world from the great beyond to put an end to the intermingling of the planes and destroy the world wound, the chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish the casting of the spell that would have sent the Scurry back to the abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the Demon Lord cut the Eon down. Dieser Descari-Junge scheint nicht so ganz ungefährlich zu sein. What future does he see? Good and evil, chaos and order, everything is in its lawful place. In the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it doesn't belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls, from life into death and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the eons withdraw to eternal admire its beauty, which will never be threatened again. Okay. After allowing the hero to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed Eon is killed, even appropriate here for an entity that is removed from life and death as we understand them, used up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness, unless someone decides to preserve the Eon within themselves. Will the hero take on its power, so that he may again look at the world through another's eyes, or will he allow it to vanish? Eigentlich klingt es ganz interessant. Request the Eon Mythic Path. Retain the Eon's power within yourself. The spirit of Eon dwells out of sight, deep in Zelda's soul, like a pair of magical spectacles stowed away, until the moment when the hero once again needs to look at the world through another's eyes. Ah, das ist der Platz, wo die Feier war.
The heartbeat quickens.
Oh, ich habe diesen Bone Shackle Spell. Bone Shaker. Den werden wir jetzt einmal austesten. Ich glaube, dem seine Knochen seien kräftig durchgeschüttelt worden.
I'll cut you wide open.
Charge passt wahrscheinlich vom Winkel her nirgends. Man kann aber so weit als möglich vorgehen. So weit als möglich ist überhaupt da hinten her. Er greift scheinbar sie an. Ja, den hat sie ja ganz gut gespürt. Da kriegt man vom Winkel natürlich auch wieder keinen Charge hin und sie mit ihrer Range keinen Hit. Was willst du machen? Your character Camellia has failed a saving throw against the ability channel negative energy damage living. Ja, blöd, ne? Saving throw succeeded. Damn it. So, Lan kann sich den Cleric da hinten holen. Schießt dann noch ein zweites Mal. Perfekt. Ich glaube, dann wäre es nicht so schlecht, wenn ich jetzt dann einfach einen AE-Heal außer Druck erreiche, dann ihn oben auch. Ja. Jetzt nichts gegen mehr Heilung gehabt, aber wird schon reichen, denke ich. Sie sollte dann noch Pots haben oder einen Pot.
The spirits demand your blood.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
Sehr schön.
Into the fray! The inheritor, guide my blade!
Surrender or else.
Und der Lion wird wohl wieder finishen, oder? Nicht einmal.
Strike as one.
You are today's sacrifice.
Na, geht doch. Eine magische Brustplatte. Ja, hallo. So. Bei ihm schauen, ob er von den Sachen wieder was lernen kann, aber die dürfte er schon alle haben, ja. Magische Brustplatte. Halfblade plus 1. Nehmen wir. Normales Dueling Sword, normaler Mace, braucht kein Mensch. Midnight Bolt. The owner of this bolt can shoot it to deal 50 damage of damage that can be reduced. This bolt cannot miss. Weil ich vermute halt, das ist dann mehr so ein einmal raus damit und fertig, oder? Ah, okay, das kommt unten in die Item-Slots. Na dann. So, du kannst da eigentlich noch eine Healpots genehmigen. Perfekt. Dann ist da auch wieder anher. It's hard to believe that this place recently held bustling and festive market. Geht gleich schnell mit so einer Dämonen-Invasion manchmal.
No, what is that?
Judging by the size of blood stain, the body of something truly enormous was dragged over these stones. Terra on the left, most likely. Count Arande's servant. Thank the gods, I found someone who isn't fleeing in panic. Are you crusaders? Mercenaries? The comely half-ass is so frightened he can barely get the words out. I am a servant of Count Darren Cale Navis Arande. My lord's mansion is under attack by demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through a servant's passage to look for help. Will you help me? The mansion is only a stone throw away on the next street over. Count Arande. I have seen him a few times before from afar. He looked highly audacious. I confess that he did capture my attention, but that's neither here nor there. We should help him. The gratitude of a rich and influential man can only benefit us. Fail the word check. You have heard of the Arandas in passing. There is some past treachery connected with the family. Ja, wenn sie in Gefahr sind, helfen wir sowieso. Alright, I'll help. Where is your master's house? It's not far at all. You're better off entering from the next street over through the passage I used to get out. Help, I'm begging you. I hate to think that what the Count will do to me if I don't bring back help. So, ich muss aber leider sagen, wir müssen heute etwas früher aufhören. Ich habe nicht ganz so gut geschlafen. Ich habe heute in der Firma schweres Zeug schlafen müssen. Ja, so fit bin ich noch. Zeug schleppen müssen, nicht in der Firma schlafen müssen. Das hätte, keine Ahnung, vielleicht geholfen. Ich bin einfach zu K.O. So, das Lesen haut gerade noch hin. Von dem her, wir machen da jetzt heute einfach ein bisschen früher Schluss. Und dann morgen in neuer Frische weiter. Aber ja, also einfach nicht mehr fit genug. Ja. Schauen wir mal, wenn wir eh so früh dran sind, ist da sonst wer online? Nö. Niemand in der Liste von Leuten, die man raiden könnte bei mir, von dem her tut's mir leid, dass heute so früh Schluss ist. Ich hoffe, ihr findet noch irgendwie den Abend zu verbringen, aber ehrlich gesagt habe ich noch nicht viel Sorge. Vielen, vielen Dank für alle, die zugeschaut haben. Der Stream wird wieder auf YouTube rüber exportiert, dass man gegebenenfalls dort nachschauen kann, wenn man was verpasst hat. Und dann sehen wir uns morgen Abend wieder, um diesen Lord zu retten. Irgendwie spackt die Kamera gerade rum. Vielleicht umso besser auch.